Well, hello there. You're watching Go Island, and today we're talking about Franklin River.
Aaron Vissia Financial Go Island is brought to you by Aaron Vissia Financial.
Well, hello again. You are here watching Go Island down at the Alberni Pacific Railway Station with the old number 7 behind it, getting ready to carry another load of passengers out to McLean Mill. But we're not actually talking about the Alberni Pacific Railway today. We are talking about the Franklin River 80th celebration that's happening at McLean Mill very soon. And we're talking to one of the main guys, Kevin Hunter, who knows everything about this, and actually he's my go-to guy for almost all this kind of stuff. Kevin, how are you today?
Great, thanks Nancy.
So tell me a little bit, what was Franklin River?
Franklin River was a huge logging camp just south of Port Alberni, massive. It started with Blodell, Stewart and Welch, eventually became McMillan Blodell, as most of us know, and also now Western Forest Products runs the part of the Franklin River camp. Very large logging camp. One of them, they say the largest in the world. I won't go that far. Let's call it the largest in British Columbia.
So there must have been an awful lot of men working out there over the years.
Oh, I roughly figure 10,000 people have rotated through the Franklin River camp. Either they're working there, they're living there, kids grew up there. Some kids grew up there and continued working the rest of their working life at Franklin River. So it was like a small community. An awful lot of people were there.
And you say a small community. This was a community that had some luxury items. There was a swimming pool out there?
We had a swimming pool out there. I was actually lived in the camp the last 8 years that it was an actual logging camp with the bunkhouse and the cookhouse. We had a swimming pool with a whirlpool and a sauna out there. So those cold January and December nights, we used to go to the swimming pool and sit in the whirlpool. It was pretty good after a long day up and down the hills.
Holy cow, I bet you it was. Now, tell me, when did the camp shut down?
Camp shut down in February of 1984, but there's still logging out there. There's continuous logging. So it actually started as a logging camp in 1934 and ran for 50 years till 1984. But we're still out there doing our thing, logging, harvesting, tree planting, silviculture.
Wow, unbelievable. Now, with that many folks having worked out there, still working out there, this is going to be a large celebration that happens at McLean's Mill, and we're going to talk to you a little bit more about that. But because this is Go Island, first we've got some wonderful stories for you to watch. Well, hello again. You are still watching Go Island. We are still talking with Kevin Hunter about the Franklin River 80th celebration that is coming up at McLean Mill. And you know, we talked about how many men worked out there, are still working out there. And among those men, there has always been amazing camaraderie. I think that's one of the biggest things about the forestry industry, the way these guys became brothers in a way.
Oh, it did. You had to depend on your comrades out there. Everyone looked after each other, and we've had some terrible accidents out there, but we pulled together. Guys really looked after each other. And now I see them out on the street. Some of them retired, some of them still working, and they still talk Franklin River. That's all they talk about.
We've done stories with different camps. We've been out to Great Central Lake. We've talked about different groups, and that exists. Each group that formed a community, it was tight.
Very tight. You had to sort of depend on yourself. When you worked out of Franklin River or you lived in Franklin River, everyone looked after each other. Everyone knew each other too. Sometimes it was a good thing, sometimes a bad thing, but you definitely had to look after each other.
And is that why these kind of get-togethers, these celebrations are so important?
Oh, it is. We should be recognizing this. Western Forest Products has gone out of their way to recognize the legacy companies, McMillan Blodell, Stewart and Welch, and the guys that lived and worked and died, unfortunately, out at Franklin River. So we've got to recognize where we've come from.
And, you know, talk about passion. You are totally passionate about Franklin River. We've talked about this many times.
Oh, yes. That's you sort of get it in your blood. I remember in the last couple of weeks telling some of the younger people working out there that you do get it in your blood. If you really enjoy Franklin River, you enjoy the working outside there, boy, oh boy, you get it definitely in your blood.
Now, we haven't given you any of the details about this event. You don't even know the date of it yet, but we're going to invite people. Who should come out?
Everyone. Loggers that used to work out there, people that work out there presently. Talk about Port Alberni, we're advertising up and down the island because the people that worked at Franklin River now are scattered all over the island and the lower mainland. Get the word out. This is going to be good fun, lots of fun for everyone.
Good fun. Well, you better get your pen out because we're going to be giving you the dates and the times in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we've got another few stories for you. Well, hello again. You are still watching Go Island. You are looking at a crummy. Now, this wasn't a crummy that was used on this side of Vancouver Island. It's actually from the eastern side, but this is how men got to work in the woods at one time. A crummy similar to this would have been running out to Franklin River not that many years ago, in living memory of a lot of guys who rode crummies similar to this out to Franklin River. And all of you, past and present employees who worked at Franklin River, are invited to an event. And we've been teasing you a little bit. We haven't told you the date. Well, we're going to tell you now. Kevin, when is this happening?
Okay, coming up pretty quick. Saturday, July the 26th, from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 6 o'clock at night. We're running our regular 2 trains, one at 10 o'clock in the morning and one at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Or if you don't want to take the train, I would strongly suggest you take the train, because that is a Franklin River train, a locomotive, so it actually spent some time at Franklin River, so we're reliving that Franklin nostalgia. But if you want to walk into the mill, it's absolutely free, which is a great idea. Train is vastly reduced price because of our 3 sponsors, Western Forest Products, Island Timberlands, and Probin Logging. They've subsidized this event, which really does help us a lot.
And so we've told you when. It's at McLean Mill. You should know that. If we're being urged to hop aboard the train, it's at McLean Mill. And there's a lot going on. There's the regular sawmill demonstrations, the old-time logging demonstration,
Yes.
steam donkey.
At the McLean Mill National Historic, we ride the steam train out to the site there. Then we go and watch the steam sawmill in operation. Pretty cool to watch that, pretty unique. What's even more unique is we've got a steam logging donkey with a wooden spar tree. We're going to do some actual logging just like they did in the 1930s, actually at the McLean Mill and at Franklin River.
Now, I have spent some time around old-time loggers. I'm guessing there's going to be a few stories told.
Oh, they'll be logging. You may see them logging before and after, but they'll get quite a few loads off to the side there. They'll be logging. And it's great. This is what part of all of this is about. Just sit down and talk with a buddy that you worked with for 30 years and hadn't seen for 5 or 10 years.
Be some refreshments out there?
Lots of refreshments. We got more than we originally have, and we're going to do the Sundance, I think, and get some sun out there. So it's going to be a great day.
Kevin Hunter, thank you so much for telling me about it. It is a wonderful event, and thanks for your part in organizing it. I know you were a big part of this.
Thanks, Nancy. This is our life. Come and see it.
I think that's a great slogan. This is our life. Come and see it. I think we could sell McLean Mill that way. We are almost at the end of Go Island, but before we go, we do have a couple more stories for you. Well, that does bring us to the end of another Go Island, the Franklin River edition of Go Island. The old number 7, which used to run out to Franklin River, is getting ready to run out to McLean Mill. And I think I might just jump aboard. Until we meet again, be good to each other.
Aaron Vissia Financial Go Island is brought to you by Aaron Vissia Financial, supporting community and providing personalized advice and service to clients since 1996. Our team is ready to help you with your financial future.